From here, the city continues to evolve, but not in a straight line. It grows in layers, each era building on top of the last, sometimes preserving history, sometimes erasing it, but always pushing forward. As the 21st century progresses, the pace of change accelerates dramatically. What once took centuries now happens in just a few decades. The outskirts of the city expand rapidly, swallowing old villages and turning them into dense urban districts. Roads stretch further into the horizon, connecting what used to be distant settlements into a single continuous metropolitan region. High-rise buildings begin to redefine the skyline. Glass and steel towers rise where open land once existed. Business districts form new centers of power, no longer concentrated in a single historic core but distributed across multiple zones. The city becomes more complex, more fragmented, yet more interconnected at the same time. Beneath the surface, the underground systems grow just as dramatically. New metro lines are added, tunnels are expanded, and transport networks begin to function like the hidden nervous system of a living organism. Millions of people move through these underground arteries every single day, connecting the farthest edges of the city in a matter of minutes. Above ground, traffic becomes one of the defining features of modern life. Long highways cut through dense urban areas, filled with endless streams of vehicles. Bridges rise over congested intersections, and new infrastructure attempts to keep up with the relentless growth of population. The city never stops moving, never truly sleeps. But alongside this growth comes pressure. The environment that once defined this valley continues to struggle under the weight of expansion. Air quality fluctuates. Water management becomes more complex. The memory of ancient lakes still exists in the geography of the land, but the natural balance has been deeply altered. Engineers and urban planners begin to look backward in time, studying the original landscape in search of solutions for the future. Gradually, a new idea begins to emerge in the city's development: restoration alongside innovation. Instead of only building upward and outward, efforts begin to focus on sustainability. Green spaces are introduced into urban zones. Parks expand in size and importance. Rooftop gardens appear on buildings that once would have been purely industrial or commercial. The city begins to breathe in a different way. At the same time, technology reshapes daily life. Digital systems control traffic flow. Smart infrastructure monitors energy consumption across entire districts. Public services become increasingly automated, and data becomes as important as physical construction. The city is no longer just made of concrete and steel, it is also made of information. Despite all this modernization, the past never disappears. In the heart of the city, ancient ruins remain preserved beneath modern structures. Archaeological layers reveal the presence of civilizations that existed long before modern planning began. In some places, construction projects are carefully designed around these historical remnants, allowing the past and present to coexist in the same physical space. Tourists and locals alike walk through areas where centuries overlap. A modern street may pass directly above the remains of ancient temples. Colonial buildings may stand only blocks away from futuristic skyscrapers. This layered identity becomes one of the most unique characteristics of the city. As time moves closer to the mid-21st century, speculation about the future becomes more intense. By the 2030s and 2040s, urban expansion is expected to reach a point where traditional boundaries no longer define the city. Instead of a single central metropolis, the region becomes a vast interconnected network of urban clusters. Each cluster develops its own identity, economy, and infrastructure, yet remains part of a larger whole. Transportation may evolve beyond traditional road systems. Electric vehicles dominate, but autonomous systems begin to take over. High-speed transit corridors are planned to connect distant regions in minutes rather than hours. Some projections even suggest aerial transport routes becoming part of everyday commuting, changing the way people understand distance entirely. Buildings themselves begin to transform. Instead of static structures designed for a single purpose, architecture becomes adaptive. Walls may adjust to temperature. Energy systems may respond in real time to environmental conditions. Entire districts may function as self-regulating ecosystems, balancing human activity with environmental stability. Yet even as the city becomes more advanced, human life remains at the center of everything. Markets are still filled with people. Streets still carry the sounds of daily conversation, music, and movement. Families still gather in public spaces. Festivals still light up the city with color and energy. The rhythm of life continues, unchanged in its essence, even as the environment around it transforms completely. Looking even further ahead, toward 2050 and beyond, the vision of the city becomes almost futuristic in scale. Urban planners imagine vertical expansions where entire neighborhoods exist in layered towers, reducing horizontal sprawl. Energy may be generated through fully renewable systems integrated into every building. Artificial intelligence could coordinate entire city operations, from transportation to emergency response, in real time. Water management may also return as a central theme. In a poetic reversal of history, systems could be developed to reintroduce water elements into the urban landscape, echoing the ancient lakes that once defined the valley. Artificial canals, reservoirs, and water corridors could become both functional and aesthetic features of the city's design. Climate resilience becomes a key focus. The city must adapt not only to population growth but also to global environmental change. Infrastructure is redesigned to withstand extreme weather, heat waves, and resource limitations. The goal is not just expansion, but survival and balance. Through all of this, the identity of the city continues to evolve, yet it never loses its connection to its origins. The same land that once supported small groups of hunter-gatherers now supports tens of millions of people. The same valley that once reflected only natural lakes now reflects a skyline of steel and light. The transformation is not just physical, it is historical, cultural, and deeply human. Every layer of the city tells a story. The earliest footprints of human life are still part of its foundation. The rise of empires still shapes its cultural memory. Colonial restructuring still influences its architecture. Modern development defines its current form. And future visions continue to reshape its direction. As the camera remains fixed, time flows forward like a continuous river. Buildings rise, change, and evolve. Streets expand and reconfigure. Nature slowly returns in certain areas while urban density increases in others. The city never becomes complete, because it is always in a state of becoming. And in this endless transformation, one truth remains constant. This is not just the evolution of a city. It is the evolution of human ambition, resilience, and imagination. From silence to civilization, from water to concrete, from past to future, the valley continues its journey through time, unfolding layer by layer, century by century, moment by moment, into something that is still not finished becoming.